And now, the nations of the world, brought to you by Donald Trump. United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, Republic, Dominican, Cuba, Caribbean, Greenland, El Salvador, Puerto Rico, Colombia, Venezuela, Honduras, Guyana, and still Guatemala, Bolivia, then Argentina, and Ecuador, Chile, Brazil, Costa Rica, Belize, Nicaragua, Bermuda, Bahamas, Tobacco, San Juan, Paraguay, Uruguay, Suriname, and French Guiana, Barbados, and Guam, Norway, and Sweden, and Iceland, and Finland, and Germany, now in one piece. Switzerland, Austria, Czechoslovakia, Italy, Turkey, and Greece, Poland, Romania, Scotland, Albania, Ireland, Russia, Oman, Bulgaria, Saudi Arabia, Hungary, Cyprus, Iraq, and Iran, there, Syria, Lebanon, Israel, Jordan, both Yemen, Kuwait, and Bahrain, the Netherlands, Luxembourg, Belgium, and Portugal, France, England, Denmark, and Spain, India, Pakistan, Burma, Afghanistan, Thailand, Nepal, Bhutan, Cambodia, Malaysia, then Bangladesh, Asia, and China, Korea, Japan, Mongolia, Laos, and Tibet, Indonesia, the Philippine Islands, Taiwan, Sri Lanka, New Guinea, Sumatra, New Zealand, then Borneo, and Vietnam, Tunisia, Morocco, Uganda, Angola, Djibouti, Botswana, Mozambique, Zambia, Swaziland, Gambia, Guinea, Algeria, Ghana, Burundi, Lesotho, and Malawi. The Spanish Sahara is gone. Nigeria, Chad, Liberia, Egypt, Benin, and Gabon, Tanzania, Somalia, Kenya, and Mali, Sierra Leone, and Algeria, Dahomey, Namibia, Senegal, Libya, Cameroon, Congo, Ethiopia, Guinea, Bissau, Madagascar, Rwanda, Majorca, and Cayman, Hong Kong, Abu Dhabi, Qatar, Yugoslavia, Great Mauritania, Pennsylvania, Monaco, Liechtenstein, Malta, and Palestine, Australia, Sudan.
What is up, guys? Tyson Dela Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Today is April 9th, 2025. Shout out to everybody catching this on the live. If you're catching this on the live, come on in. Come on in. If you're catching this on the replay, simply type replay in the comment section. And as always, for those of you catching this on the late replays or after the fact, I'm going to go ahead and place timestamps at the bottom of this so you can jump forward to back, forward. However you guys please. Just be sure, the only thing that I ask is that you smash the like button. You smash the like button if you first go around and you're liking the videos, just smash the like button. And if you've been here a couple rounds and you're like, oh, I like this guy, smash the subscribe button if you want to. If not, no big deal. All good. All good. But I do ask that you hit the like button for sure, for sure. What is up, everybody in the live chat? Come on in, come on in. What is up, my mind? My mind in the house. Terry in the house. Rob in the house. Missy, what is going on? What is going on? I want to give a huge shout out before we begin. And as always, just like we do every show, I got to give the kudos and shout outs to the moderators in the chat. Shout out to the mods in the chat, and shout out to everybody catching this on the live. Let's go, let's go. Hopefully everybody had a good day today. Hopefully everybody had a good day today. What's going on, Catherine? Here, but multitasking. What is going on? Joe in the house. An innocent man in the house. An innocent man in the house. And for those of you that troll, just come on in. It's all good. You know, I'm open to any type of discussion, any type of discussion. If you have different opinions, that's totally fine. Everybody has different opinions. So if you're a troll, you can come on in. Feel free. Feel free. The only thing I ask is you don't spam the crap out of the chat. And also you don't spam the crap out of the comment section, okay? It's all right to have different opinions. But if you got a different opinion, be sure that you're able to back it up in some capacity. We may or may not be able to agree, but we can still have a civil conversation. What's up, Risking My Biscuit? What is going on? What is going on? All right. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. We got some stuff rocking today. We got a good show today. We always got a good show, don't we? We have some of the best chat on YouTube, period, hands down, end of story. You can tell Chuck Norris to sidekick that into the YouTube algorithm because we have the best freaking chat of all time. Don't we? Don't we? Facts. Facts. All right. Let me change this banner. Let me make sure that we got everything rocking. All right. Let's jump in. We got tariffs. We've got tantrums. We've got Trump triumphs. Hands down. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show where economic chaos is just a little foreplay to the main act. The main act is Donald Trump dropping bombs, not literally. He did on another place, but he's dropping bombs on China, dropping bombs on Wall Street, and dropping bombs on Gavin Newsom's self-esteem. We got to kick it off with the market. Okay, just a few days ago, last week, every CNBC host was hyperventilating. They were like, oh my gosh, the economy is going to be over. They were hyperventilating into their vegan oat lattes. Tariffs will end America, they said. The Dow will never recover, they said. It is the end of capitalism as we know it, they said. Well, the Dow just rocketed 2,800 points. The NASDAQ surged 12%. S&P 500 up 9%. And the only thing down right now is Rachel Maddow's blood pressure. Why is all this happening? Because Donald Trump hit the pause on certain tariffs after Wall Street cried out, after Beijing absolutely panicked, and after he secured better leverage with 75 nations. What a play. This is a classic Trump move. Burn the house down just enough to get a better deal, then rebuild America with steel. It's a famous book that he wrote, The Art of the Deal meets Dancing with Dow or Dancing with Wolves, right? Trump is leading, the market is following, Wall Street is doing the cha-cha while pretending they weren't just crying around the corner 48 hours ago. But while the markets were moonwalking, guess who belly flopped? California Governor Gavin Newsom cried tariff tears, and he's now publicly begging Donald Trump for a bailout. Yes, this is the same Gavin Newsom who sued Donald Trump hundreds of times, calling him a dictator and tried to run a shadow White House on his Instagram Live. And now he wants MAGA, the Trump administration, to cut him a deal. Cut him a deal like he's some broke OnlyFans model. California spent all its entire money and dumped it down the hole. And now Gavin Newsom wants daddy to Venmo them out. If you thought everything was going to stop there, it went into hyper mode here. IRS Commissioner number 3 just quit over ICE data sharing. This Biden appointee dropped out. They've been dropping out like flies. Trump's turning the IRS into a leaner, meaner, law-enforcing machine. It's like the season of Survivor, guys. And in pop culture meltdowns, we got news with Rachel Maddow. She's mad at Noem because she looks hot. That's just what it is. And apparently, a conservative woman who wears tactical boots and cowboy hats is dangerously cosplaying, Rachel Maddow says. She's dangerously cosplaying. But I think she just has confidence. Bottom line, left is losing their grip. Trump tariffs work. The markets are soaring. Newsom is begging. IRS is panicking. And people don't even know what to think about Noem yet. Let's jump in to today's show.
America is going to be very rich again, and it's going to happen very quickly.
President Trump pushing ahead with his America First agenda.
Breaking news, Apple announced it's going to work with Foxconn to build a server factory in Texas by 2026.
The company says it is now planning to invest $500 billion in the U.S. economy.
The CEO of SoftBank pledging to invest $100 billion in the U.S. over the next 4 years.
Noah! Larry, what the hell are you doing?
Larry!
Larry, you can't just... Oh,
Larry! Oh, are you all right? How did...
Larry!
This is President Trump delivering on the promise he made to the American people on the campaign trail.
The idea is come to America, build greatness in America, build for the American customers.
Project Stargate.
This executive order is for allowing people who are complaining about your tariffs to be permanently labeled as whiny, retarded, sad little bitches.
Hold it. This is a good one. Is everybody listening?
It's a joint venture between SoftBank, Oracle, and OpenAI, and they're going to create a data center that will eventually be expanded to other states.
Shows people are listening to Mr. Trump's pitch to bring new industry to America.
The first rule, particularly for the smaller investors out there, you can't lose money unless you sell. And right now, the smart strategy is not to panic, just stay in, because we are going to have the biggest boom in the stock market we've ever seen under the Trump policies. We will find a bottom in this market quickly. We will hit 50,000 on the Dow easily by the end of this term.
The automobile industry, and now those plants largely have stopped and they're moving them to our country. Honda is building one of the biggest plants.
The trade story is certainly picking up speed here and pushing more countries to make these bigger investments. It's another example of the Trump effect.
GE Aerospace announcing a nearly $1 billion investment into American manufacturing.
Eli Lilly announcing plans to expand its manufacturing here in the United States.
$27 billion additional spend, bringing our total to more than $50 billion.
The money's rolling in, and this is in the past 60 some odd days, Charles.
These are deep-pocketed folks who want to have a relationship, and it's just smart moves.
We are CMA CGM, one of the leaders in shipping and logistics around the world. Today, we are investing $20 billion.
Foreign leaders from around the world, investors from Silicon Valley to Wall Street to Main Street have confidence again in our economy and our markets and in President Trump.
The Trump effect this morning, a string of massive wins for American manufacturing. The numbers speak for themselves. Wisconsin-based Clarios is putting up $6 billion to expand its American operation. And what's driving these decisions? Well, President Trump's aggressive Made in America policies and his commitment to bringing industry back to American soil.
USA! USA! Trump Tariff Tango, market soars. Donald Trump deals the cards, guys. Shout out to everybody that's rolling in. Well, we got this article right here from the Gateway Pundit. Shout out to the Gateway Pundit. President Donald Trump reacts to the biggest market rally in 5 years as he turns the world against who? China. Trump just played markets like it was a fiddle. And Adam Shifty Shift is losing his mind. 1 minute, we think we're on the brink of a trade war apocalypse. And the next, the Dow is partying like it's 1999. We're gonna party like it's 1999. We're gonna unpack this roller coaster here, guys. In the latest episode of The Art of the Deal, President Donald Trump edition, President Trump has once again demonstrated his flair for dramatics, okay? He slapped a hefty 104% tariff on Chinese goods. He said, 104% on Chinese goods. It's just what it's going to be. Beijing decided to clap back with 84% tariff on American products. A classic tick for tack, right? But wait. We got this article right here from the Gateway Pundit. In a move that surprised absolutely no one who's been paying attention, Trump escalated the situation by jacking up tariffs to China to a whopping 125%. But here's the kicker. While turning the screws on China, he extended an olive branch to over 75 other countries, offering a 90-day pause and reducing their reciprocal tariffs to a mere 10%. Talk about playing hardball. This is a classic Trump move, guys. Now, the markets, which have been nosediving faster than Hunter Biden on a pile of cocaine, they suddenly did a 180. Okay, the Dow Jones rocketed over 2,800 points. S&P 500 had its best day in 5 years, jumping 9% or some change, something like that. And the NASDAQ, I think, leaped to almost 12%, marking its largest one-day gains in a decade. I think this was all a nice play for Donald Trump. Investors went from doomsday. They were like, oh, man. You remember a couple days ago on Friday, everybody was freaking out. They were freaking out. They were like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And now they're popping champagne bottles at the close of the stock market. And what did classic Donald Trump have to say about all this? He said, I did that. Donald Trump said, I did that. I did that. This tango tariff war I think it's far from over. While the markets are basking in their newfound optimism, there's an underlying issue with China, and it's still remaining, right? And it's kind of more tangled than ever, and we're going to jump into some clips here.
They do have some leverage, as I say. It's not easy for democracies to fight against tyrannic governments because China will literally starve their own people. China will reduce its own citizenry to poverty, filth, squalor in order to fight the American enemy. American citizens wouldn't stand for that. They'd take to the streets before that ever happened. And most American presidents wouldn't subject their citizens to that. Although, as I said, you have American presidents in our modern history that have sold out their own people, the people that voted them in. And not one of them had the courage to stand up to China. Instead, we wooed them into the WTO. That was going on during the Clinton years. Yeah, join on. Enjoy free trade, at least for you.
The Donald Trump DT number 47 played his hand. He played his hand and the market danced to his tune. He was the maestro behind everything. The question is how long can Donald Trump and the administration keep the music going? And I think they'll keep it going for a long time. Here's what Kevin O'Leary had to say. Kevin O'Leary calls for 400% tariffs on China. China. Man, this video is going to get demonetized because I said China too much. Kevin O'Leary says it's time that we squeeze China's head to the wall.
Tariffs in China are not enough. I'm advocating 400%. I do business in China. They don't play by the rules. They've been in the WTO for decades. They have never abided by any of the rules they agreed to when they came in for decades. They cheat, they steal IP. I can't litigate in their courts. They take product, technology, they steal it, they manufacture it and sell it back here. Never has an administration
400% tariffs. What would that look like?
Xi on an airplane to Washington to level the playing field. This is not about tariffs anymore. Nobody has taken on China yet, not the Europeans, no administration for decades. As someone who actually does business there, I've had enough. I speak for millions of Americans who have IP that have been stolen by the Chinese. I have nothing against the Chinese people. They brought great literacy, art, and tech to the world. The government cheats and steals, and finally, an administration, you may not like Trump, you may not like his style or his rhetoric, finally, an administration that puts up and says enough. 400% tariffs tomorrow morning. He'll tell you why. She can only stay the supreme leader if people are employed. If we wipe out any business there, because we are still 39% of all consumables on earth and 25% of the world's GDP, America is the #1 economy on earth with all the cards. We will not have that forever. It's time to squeeze Chinese heads into the wall now.
Well,
I'm
hold
not
on a
talking about
second,
tariffs
Kevin.
on
Well,
60
I hear you, but hold on. If we're talking about people, the average consumer, not necessarily the head honchos of businesses all across the globe, can they withstand the pressure of that sort of tax on the
It's
goods?
short-lived. There will be
But what's your timeline compared to, you don't know the average American's timeline, what they can actually survive. There's people right now who can't survive
400%.
We couldn't have survived another Biden economy. We couldn't have survived another Kamala Harris economy.
Joe Biden became mentally impaired. Kamala was born that way.
It's the motherfucking DJT.
Now, Adam Shifty Shift is saying, oh my gosh, it was insider trading. How could it be insider trading if he was openly publicizing, hey, we're gonna tariff the crap out of China? I think Kevin O'Leary is right. Let me know in the chat what you guys think about this. Drop it down in the chat. Let me know what you think if Kevin O'Leary is right. For a long time, I said this in the videos in the past, that China has been stealing IP, intellectual property, and making it their own and selling it for cheap with cheap Chinese plastic and slave labor. That's what they've been doing. You patent something in the United States, and then you send it over to China to get assembled and manufactured, and they steal the IP. And then they, instead of fidget toys, they have vidget toys, or Snuggies, then they have Muggies, or whatever it is. Muggies is something that happens in Chicago, but anyways, let me know what you guys think about this in the chat. Drop it down in the chat. America first, baby. America first. Now we got Adam Shifty Shift, the guy who has the audacity, the absolute woman lady balls to say that there was possible insider trading. Dude, you've been caught in so many lies and your head is so dang big, you don't even know what insider trading is. Listen to this crap.
Are you, with this market fluctuation, are you concerned that there could be members of the White House that are benefiting from it?
Absolutely. I'm writing to the White House to demand who knew in advance that the president was going to once again flip-flop on tariffs, and are people cashing in? There is just all too much opportunity for people in the White House and the administration to be insider trading, and you can't put it past them for a minute. So we're going to try to find out.
There's a good chance they'll just ignore you, though, right? Should there be some other independent investigation into this?
Well, I think Congress should do an investigation into this, but we're going to demand answers from the administration. I think you're right. They're likely to stonewall, particularly if they've been engaged in corrupt insider trading. But they won't be able to hide it for good. I mean,
what about your friend, Facelift Pelosi?
We know who's in the administration. We can look at eventually what people are buying and selling. This will come out. But an administration that has their own meme coins and is already engaged in self-interested dealing when Elon is doging agencies that are doing oversight of his own businesses, in that kind of corrupt climate, you have to assume the worst, and we're going to try to find out.
Shifty Shift, come on, man. Oh, we're going to find out what's going on with insider trading. Why don't you look to the left, bro? Nancy Pelosi's drooping her face because it was raining outside. She's been insider trading for the past 2 decades. Catherine writes, stealing our technology, they brought U.S. C-19 that killed millions, especially the elderly. Families were made to watch from the window as their grandparents passed. Lord have mercy. Amen to that. That was a very sad time. That was a sad time. That whole C-19 situation. Little red-faced liar. Yep. Adam Shitty Shift. There we go. What's going on, Airdrie? What is going on, Jessica? The new word of the day, insider trading. Yep, that is trending on the intro webs. For those of you that complain that I say intro webs, I know it's called the internet, but I call it the intro webs. It's just what it is. The left is trending on the intro web saying, hey, it was insider trading. Insider trading. Oh my God. Oh, they're doing what we've been doing for the past 5 administrations. Insider trading. They're just crying like little girls. Adam Shifty Schiff should be ashamed of himself. There was a whole situation with Adam Shifty Schiff that I'm not going to get into in this video. There was a particular scenario where he was potentially caught with somebody underage at a hotel room, but that's not this video. And I don't want to go down a rabbit hole of that one. Yeah, let's jump into this. So this really hit me because this individual is from the 4th District Court of the none other than Nevada, the 4th District Court of Nevada. His name's Stephen Horsford, predominantly represents North Las Vegas. And here's what he had to say. And this is rich coming from this guy.
Manipulation?
No.
Why not? If it was a plan, if it was always the plan, how is this not market manipulation?
It's not market manipulation, sir.
Well, then what is it? Because it sure is not a strategy.
We're trying to reset the global trade system.
That's
offshored,
offshored
all of our factories.
And what has that done?
How
have you achieved any of that? But to enact enormous harm on the American people, which was our concern from the very beginning. Tariffs are a tool. It can be used in the appropriate way to protect U.S. jobs and small businesses. But that's not what this does. So if it's not market manipulation, what is it? Who's benefiting? What billionaire just got richer? And all the while, there are not even any Republicans left in this hearing. They all left because they don't even want to defend this. But meanwhile, the speaker is rushing to the floor to pass a budget reconciliation to screw America by passing the biggest tax cut in history on the backs of the American people. WTF? Who's in charge? Because it sure doesn't look like it's the trade representative. You just got the rug pulled out from under you.
This is rich coming from this guy, Stephen Horsford, 4th District Congress, North Las Vegas, Mesquite, and Tonopah, and Ely. This is rich coming. Who's in charge here? Who's in charge? We're going to hear this all week. Who's in charge here? What WTF? This is rich coming from this guy. Okay, you can see this right here. A fair podcast and re-election. Okay. Did some digging on Mr. Horsford. Turns out this Nevada Congressman Horsford, was doing more than a little bit of backroom deals than we thought. Not just the kind involving legislation either. Got to head out west to Nevada, my home state, land of tumbleweed, slot machines, and strip clubs on every corner. This scandalous Democrat with his mistress, Gabriella, Congressman Horsford in Nevada, admitted to a year-long affair with his former Senate intern. Year-long affair. We're talking about a 21-year-old intern who started dating him while he was married with 3 kids. This is absolutely classic. They met in 2009. She was a college student, and he was a grown black congressman in Nevada with a wife and kids at home with no sense of impulse control. He couldn't keep his D in his pants. And it wasn't just a weekend thing. This thing was a year long. Years, not a year long, years long. This wasn't a single situation. this was multiple interactions. He basically had a second life with this 21-year-old intern. The scandal leaked and he was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? He didn't do an apology letter or anything like that, but his mistress, his side chica bonita, Gabrielle, she went on a podcast. And the podcast, get this, guys, it's called Mistresses of Congress. It's not a Netflix show, but it should be. She said she supported Horsford through his entire career and his political promises and his connections. It sounds very similar to somebody that we know. The one, the only Kamala Harris. Listen to what he had to say.
Most, I love my wife and my family dearly, and my most important priority is to them and to make sure that I'm doing everything I can to heal and to move forward. And also to the people of this district to stay focused on the issues that they've asked me to fight for.
He said, I love my wife and I love my kids. There was an article that was published in the Review Journal, which is the Las Vegas news article, or Las Vegas newspaper. It's called the Las Vegas Review Journal here. Horsford wife will not be silent about congressman's affair and re-election campaign. Oh, man. What a guy. In May in 2020, the congressman acknowledged he had carried a long-standing affair with his former Harry Reid intern, Gabriella Linder, who detailed their relationship in a series of podcasts entitled Mistress of Congress. Good for her. And listen to this. He says this. He says, I love my wife and family very much. Obviously, the circumstances have led us to a point that are very painful and deeply remorseful. Bro, you were not deeply remorseful when you were like with Gabriella, okay? Not one time, not two times. You were doing this woman a series of times. It wasn't remorseful. Trust me. If it was remorseful, you wouldn't have done it a series of times. I understand my wife's desire for privacy in this hard time. Bro, you were beating cheeks with your secretary. This is why I'm not a fan of people who get young, beautiful, big-breasted secretaries. I don't know if Gabriella has big breasts, but you know, you get somebody that's working behind the desk, maybe a little younger. Ideally, you get somebody older that knows how to do paperwork. You don't gotta put the candy unwrapped for you. You just make it worse for yourself. And he's over here claiming that it's who made people rich, blah blah blah. Meanwhile, he's living the high life in North Las Vegas, claiming that he's about the city, but he ain't about nothing. He ain't about nothing. Linder told the Review Journal in 2020, the affair began in 2029. Linder was 21 years old, a senior at UNLV and an intern of former U.S. Senator Majority Leader Harry Reid in his Nevada office. And they were beating cheeks. This line right here kills me. I love my wife and family very much, he says. No, you don't. Or else you wouldn't have did it. This is what makes me mad about some of these folks. Adam Shifty Shift too. We all got stuff in our closet, right? But for Adam Shifty Shift, for Horsford to say these things, no bueno, man. You don't do that. You don't say that you love your wife and family very much and I'm deeply remorseful and hurt and pain that I've caused. You weren't thinking that when you were smashing your secretary. You were not thinking that when you were beating cheeks with your secretary. You weren't like, you know, having sex with your secretary and thinking like, oh my God, I'm so remorseful. I'm so remorseful. No. You were saying other things. You were like, oh, that feels good. You weren't saying, I love my wife and kids. You were probably saying that to her, douchebag. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section. Sorry, I went off on a tangent because this stuff makes me mad. The hypocrisy. The hypocrisy. We see it a lot. We see it a lot. Especially, you know, we see it from both parties. We see it from the left. We see it from the right. But specifically, we see it heavily on the left. Shifty talking about insider trading. Bro, the audacity you got. Garbage. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this in the chat. Stephanie writes, well, Gabby will be running for president one day. She probably will. And guess who's going to back her? Maybe literally, but he's probably going to back her up. This is disgusting, immoral. Yep. And it's crazy that this dude got reelected. And he still claims that he's a family man. Bro, you ain't no family man, dude. Garbage people. That's what Catherine writes. Willie and Kamala 2.0. Stephanie writes, I know what Tyson thinks in his head. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Okay, bro. Come at me when you got something better. These folks, garbage people. Absolutely. All right, we're jumping into this next topic here. We got this next topic here. We got the third IRS leader departs in 2025. What is going on with the IRS? What is going on with the IRS? This is the third person to throw in the towel. Is it privacy concerns? What is it? What is going on? The acting commissioner of the IRS, Melanie Krause, is out citing a controversial data sharing deal with ICE. Remember a few weeks ago, they came to an agreement and said, hey, we are going to provide data for folks that either have, we're going to provide data to the custom enforcement, and we're going to share this taxpayer information with immigration and customs enforcement. According to the reports, the deal of ICE is to access certain taxpayer data to locate individuals with deportation orders or those that are under criminal investigation. Now, Krause claims she's resigning on principle concerned about taxpayer privacy. Let me know what you guys think about it.
The IRS is stepping down just days before the tax deadline after the Trump administration finalized a controversial deal to share taxpayer data on undocumented immigrants. Melanie Krause, who took the job earlier this year, will resign under a deferred program announced by the Treasury Department. Sources told the Washington Post her exit is a protest against the administration's latest immigration measure. The Treasury confirmed her departure Tuesday, praising her for guiding the agency through extraordinary change and pointing to a broader effort to tear down data silos across government. Her resignation comes on the heels of a deal signed Monday by Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, one that allows DHS to request tax information on migrants already under criminal investigation or subject to deportation orders. The agreement was finalized without Krause's sign-off, marking the second time this year An IRS chief has resigned over the issue. Former acting commissioner Doug O'Donnell also quit back in February. Some IRS lawyers have reportedly warned that the data sharing deal may violate federal privacy laws, but the administration has pushed back, calling it a necessary step in modernizing government operations. Under President Trump's leadership, the government is finally doing what it should have done all along, sharing information to solve problems, DHS spokeswoman Tricia McLaughlin said Tuesday. The IRS is also facing a major overhaul. Last week, the agency began cutting jobs with a target of slashing 25% of its workforce, part of a broader effort to streamline federal agencies under the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE.
For more stories just like these, be sure to subscribe.
We can't forget that this is the third IRS chief to resign within a year. The first one was this individual by the name of Danny something. And then Douglas, the person that they mentioned here, exited in February, and then Kraus is exiting. It seems like there's a revolving door here. The IRS under the Trump administration has been undergoing some spring cleaning, if you would. They've been cutting jobs, pausing IT contracts, and now sharing data with ICE, which I think is a great move. The left, the critics, are saying it's an invasion of privacy laws or violation of privacy laws. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Supporters argue and say that it's about time that our agencies start actually communicating with one another, because all these systems, they don't work together. They don't work together. Is Kraus leaving here because of she wants to be a privacy activist? Or maybe she's a DEI hire? Or is she just simply unable to adapt to the new policies and procedures that the Trump administration is laying down? I think one thing is for sure here. The IRS is going to be a little bit bumpy until they get eliminated. Let me know what you think about this. Drop it down in the comment section. I'm going to jump into the chat real quick. Who let the Doge out? Who let the Doge out? That's what Gina writes. I think they see the writing on the wall. This is what Catherine writes. I think they do too. They see a lot of people in the hot seats having to answer questions, and I doubt she wants to be one. Yeah. I think so too. Stephanie writes, they cut all these people taking Social Security numbers. They don't have one, so not sure what her problem is, other than that, not wanting to be responsible for the crap show. She was gifted a big bag of crap from the previous administration. 3 people left within a year. That is a bad turnover rate. That's almost equally as bad as Kamala Harris's cabinet. We're going to jump into Gavin Newsom. This happened a couple days ago. Gavin Newsom spent all his money, spent all California's money. They're in a deficit. They've been working on a deficit for so long. Gavin Newsom spent all the money like he was a TikTok influencer. Now he's doing podcasts instead of taking care of his community. Another guy. I've seen this on so many occasions. I'm sure these undocumented share the same Social Security number. I'm sure they do. Shout out to Terry for that one. Gavin Newsom, tariff tears all day. Gavin Newsom is now begging for a bailout after he allegedly sued attempted to sue Trump 100 times. Mr. West Coast woke is asking for MAGA money now. California blew its money. They're at a deficit. And now he wants to pass the plate like he's a broke televangelist. I don't have any more money. How does Gavin Newsom talk? I don't have any more. I don't know. I don't have any more money. I don't have any more money. I spent it all on cocaine. Let's jump into this. The Prince of Plastic here.
California Governor Gavin Newsom today about how he is responding specifically to the new Trump tariff regime and what he thinks California should do on its own to combat and thwart it here. This was his message on social media. Let's listen.
Donald Trump's tariffs do not represent all Americans, particularly those that I represent here in the fifth largest economy in the world, the state of California. We value international trade. We value our manufacturing base, the largest manufacturing economy in the United States of America. We look forward to continuing to strengthen those ties, strengthen those bonds. I'll remind all our international trading partners, California is a stable trading partner, and we hope you consider that as it relates to California-made products.
Okay.
Gavin Newsom claims that the golden state of California that was once absolutely gorgeous and beautiful, he said he can't keep up with the costs, and now he's asking for federal aid. You spent all the money. You spent all the money. What happened to all the money about the homeless? You just haven't fixed that. There's crap on the street. Your city burned. LA's gone. California spent itself into a hole.
Okay, so seeming like California Governor Newsom going it alone there, let's get a kind of sense of what that may look like with a lot of people who cover California politics extremely closely, including Jeremy White there at Politico and Leah Russell at the Sacramento Bee. They join me. You guys, thanks for being with us on this Friday afternoon. Jeremy, I'm going to start with you here. What is this going to look like when Governor Newsom says that essentially we're going to go it alone, that he's going to try to negotiate California's own trade deals with some of these global partners? Do we know yet?
It's a little early to tell how much other trading partners are going to respond to this entreaty or this olive branch from Gavin Newsom. But I think the important context to remember here is there is a long history of California governors using the state's enormous economy and extensive global trading ties to make that case that it enjoys its own status as an economic force in the world. We've seen this with things like Governor Newsom and Jerry Brown before him, creating pacts on climate and trade with other countries or subnational governments. We saw it in the first term of the Trump administration when Governor Newsom made a deal with automakers to hew to California's emission standards, essentially saying if the federal government's not going to get it done, California will. So tariffs and international trade, complicated stuff, but there's no question that this is a well-established pattern of using California's economic clout to go a different direction from Washington.
Yeah, Leah, to you, I wanted to ask, does he have any help in this effort there at the State House in Sacramento? Oh, I think you might be muted there.
Sorry. Not that I'm hearing so far, but, Speaker Rivas has not said anything yet.
Who is this? Leah Russell.
Not that I'm hearing so far, but, Speaker Rivas has not said anything yet, but I imagine, he will. I believe, like Jeremy said, it's a little too early to tell, but usually, with the Democratic supermajority, they tend to walk in lockstep with Governor Newsom.
Sure.
Why? California already has high taxes, regulations, and they spend all the federal funding in the past. What makes them think that they're going to do anything different? The growing deficit and the population loss. People are running out of California. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Terry writes, what happened to the people that lost everything? Gavin Newsom is now blaming external sabotage versus internal mismanagement. He should be focusing about actually doing his job instead of focusing on trying to do a podcast and stroke his ego like a minx cat. Tariffs don't, they help. Let me rewind that. Tariffs didn't bankrupt California. Newsom, Bass, they did. California was already bleeding faster than a cut on Joe Biden because he has thin blood, assumingly, right? Elon Musk left because the taxes and the bureaucracy in California. Oracle left. Big company. Elon's big company, Oracle, left. Joe Rogan left. He was like, I'm done with California. People are leaving California because it sucks. I feel bad for the people in the chat that live in California.
I mean, he did just make this announcement just this morning. Jeremy, to you, though, I wanted to ask, has Governor Newsom been in touch with any Trump White House officials, or will he, about this?
I'm not able to say with certainty either way on that, but he has spoken about how he's been in touch with other world leaders. He didn't name them, but he made a point of being at the new Mexican president's inauguration when she was sworn in. So
of course he did.
Nurturing these international trade ties with California's big trade partners, principally China, Mexico, and Canada, is something that he's been working on pretty consistently for a while. And
he wants to side pocket a deal. That's what he wants to do. He wants to side pocket and slush money some deals in. How do you think he was able to, allegedly for the YouTube purposes, how do you think he was able to purchase a $9 million home? Newsom spent the money like he was partying. Now he wants Donald Trump to bail him out. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. You won't see DeSantis doing this. Let me jump into the comments real quick. Stephanie, this comment had me laughing. She looks like she's waiting on a manager. Where's the manager? I need to speak to the manager. Well, with this person's what? I need to speak to the manager. President Trump made Mel Gibson, John Voight, and Sylvester Stallone as ambassadors of California. Gavin Newsom is going to get some act right. Facts. My dad lives in Oklahoma. I'm more of a city slicker. That's what Terry writes. Nothing is surprising in California. He's a foreign agent. Bet. Gina writes, I used to like going to Venice Beach. Now, no. Won't catch me there. Venice Beach was a beautiful place. I have a lot of friends that moved. They used to live in Venice Beach and they moved out. Homeless. Craziness homeless. Now it's all burned down, but it was a beautiful place. Kick it on the pier. Hang out. I don't even feel safe there. I don't feel safe there. Especially when the sun sets. So many bad actors in California. Yep. Mel for California. Yep. Mel for get Gavin Newsom out of here. What's he spending his money on? Me and Rob did a deep dive on how his house. This dude's just buying a $9 million house on a $200,000 salary. It don't make sense. That's why he's trying to cut a deal so he can get more federal funding to increase his paquitos. Be sure to smash the like button. It does help with the YouTube algorithms. You took the words right out of my mouth, Tyson. What about the people that literally lost everything? Yep. And they still haven't lifted up the regulations to get those folks to clean up the house, their houses. These people have been paying mortgages since last year, the end of last year, on a mortgage on a place that's been burned down. I know there's some federal programs that help delay some of the mortgage costs in California, but they haven't lifted the restrictions to get some of these folks to start building again. It's crazy. I don't think I can ever live in California. I moved away from California 30 years ago. I seen the bad coming. At the KST Mall in Sacramento, all drug addicts. I'm so glad I left. Yep. They're going to take those, they're going to take that land and they're going to redevelop, because some of those folks, unfortunately, aren't going to be able to pay their mortgages. They're not going to be able to pay their bills. You know, if this kind of goes on much longer, they're not going to be able to afford it, because imagine their house burnt down, they're paying the mortgage on the place, and then they're also paying for rent at a place, you know, wherever. And there's no rent control in California, so they jacked up rent. So these people, you know, they're going to be like, well, you know, the costs of rebuilding, blah, blah, blah. So maybe they'll just take, some of these folks are going to take a loss on that land, which is super unfortunate. It's city property now. He's always been for high density housing. They don't want single family homes. He wants West Coast NYC. I agree with that, Stephanie. I agree with that. Fires were all planned. What scumbags? People died for their greed. Yep. All right. Be sure to smash the like button if you kindly would. It does help with the YouTube algorithms. All right, we are going to talk about this next topic here. We got Rachel Maddow. Rachel Maddow melts down over Kristi Noem's wardrobe changes because she's jealous. She's peanut butter and jealous.
Just in time for the holidays, from Trump Toys, it's the doll every little girl will love. It's Kristi Girl.
Imagine your Kristi Girl, dressed for the job, know what to do. Everybody loves Kristi Girl, locking up the bad guys and she's not through. When bad men do the things that aren't good, Kristi Girl comes to your neighborhood. And when she embeds with the talking in, you can bet that she will have a new fit.
Kristi Girl comes with countless outfits for every law enforcement fantasy. Pose her outside an El Salvadoran prison, scolding dangerous criminals. Then quickly suit her up in Border Patrol gear, rounding up MS-13.
Dressed for the job, know what to do. Everybody loves Kristi Girl.
Then deploy her to Abu Ghraib to teach prisoners who's boss. Then snap on her Guantanamo bikini, because nothing says justice like harsh interrogations and even harsher tan lines.
Facts. Rachel Maddow just accused Kristi Noem of turning the Department of Homeland Security into a fashion show. Oh, Rachel Maddow. I think I speak for all Americans here and everybody in the chat. Kristi Noem looks good doing it too. Doesn't matter about her wardrobe changes or anything like that. The latest cry from Rachel Maddow for attention over MSNBC. She's literally MSDNC's liberal left royalty, if you would, and she's the self-appointed hall monitor of all things quote unquote dangerous. This week on her show, or what's left of it, because their ratings are tanking down the toilet, she devoted this entire segment to slamming Kristi Noem. This is President Donald Trump's newly appointed Secretary of Homeland Security for what Rachel Maddow calls a costume photo op. She wasn't talking about the immigration policy. She wasn't talking about the border enforcement. She wasn't talking about national security. She was talking about her outfit. Because why? She's peanut butter and jealous.
It was Donald Trump's Secretary of Homeland Security. Kristi Noem was the governor of South Dakota. And her time as South Dakota governor was a lot. There's so much to say. The flooding, COVID, the daughters.
I'm going to jump here because she talks about her teeth. She did actually, let me play this.
Real estate license, that poor dog, the poor goat. I mean, honestly, I could go on. But one thing that you may or may not remember about her time as governor of South Dakota was the teeth thing. While she was serving as governor, Kristi Noem, sitting governor, posted on all her social media accounts a long, apparently professionally produced infomercial about her fantastic experience with a dentist in Texas. Nearly 5 minutes of the governor speaking straight to camera about this particular dentist and how great this dentist was, interspersed with many, many, many extreme close-ups of her Kristi Noem mouth.
What's wrong with that? She got her teeth done. She was showing it off. She was sharing with the public about getting her teeth done. I don't see anything wrong with that. And it probably brought a lot of business to the person that helped her fix her teeth. I don't know how her teeth looked before, but
I mean, this is a weird thing for a governor to do, right? Governor Noem never disclosed if she was paid for this infomercial, or perhaps if maybe she got the dental work for free or at a discount in exchange for doing the infomercial. She never disclosed if anyone paid for her travel to Texas. But now we know. Now we know that someone did pay for that trip. It was South Dakota taxpayers.
My mind says, how come she looks like a Q-tip?
In newly released travel records, the AP found that the tens of thousands of dollars in travel expenses Kristi Noem billed to the state of South Dakota from when she was governor included $2,200 for a trip to Houston.
All right, I'm going to jump because she talks about her teeth for about 3 minutes. I'm going to jump right here.
And have your own governor bill you of dollars so she in tech in her teeth. Kristi Noem is now Donald Trump's Secretary of Homeland Security. Here she is wearing what appears to be a bulletproof vest at a meeting in New York City. Here she is in full Customs and Border Patrol uniform costume on set at Fox News. She is not a Customs and Border Patrol agent, but she had to make her a uniform, I guess, including the hat. Here's another hat. Here's her in a cowboy hat, because why not? Here she is at the southern border on a horse, because sure, what's a cowboy hat without a horse a few feet below it? Here she was a couple of weeks ago, posing Abu Ghraib style in front of prisoners at El Salvador's brutal mega prison, where the Trump administration has locked up hundreds of people who were living in the United States. And now the new chapter from Kristi Noem is here she is doing armed ride-alongs with ICE agents, where she gets dressed up and she holds big guns and she play acts at helping personally to arrest people as the Secretary of Homeland Security. Again, comes with a hat. Our friends at the New York.
How many of you guys think that she's just peanut butter and jealous? According to Rachel Maddow, Noem is guilty of undermining credibility of the office by wearing aviators and tactical boots and standing next to law enforcement. She says that she's like auditioning for something. She ain't auditioning for nothing. What about all the policies that have been engaged since she's started this situation here? Where was Rachel Maddow when Kamala Harris was dressing like Banana Republic mannequin at the border crossing? Or when Nancy Pelosi did her cloth kneeling photo op on the Capitol floor?
New York Post report today that Noem, on this recent ride-along, brought a friend. His name is Corey Lewandowski, a longtime Donald Trump ally and advisor. You can see Mr. Lewandowski in this New York Post photograph today. You can also see him in this very tabloid 2023 report in the New York Post. Quote, South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem having absurdly blatant and public affair with handsy Trump aide Corey Lewandowski, sources say.
This is why your ratings suck, Rachel. Oh my God, she's wearing a cowboy hat. Can you believe it, guys? Breaking news. Kristi Noem is wearing a cowboy hat. Oh my God, she's wearing a hat. She's wearing a hat and an outfit that I cannot wear because I have a body of a 12-year-old.
Claims that Noem and Lewandowski in 2023 denied. In noting his presence at the All for the Cameras raid today in Arizona, the New York Post wrote, quote, also in the Bearcat with Noem was former Trump campaign manager and senior advisor Corey Lewandowski, who introduced himself to federal agents as chief of staff. The Department of Homeland Security later clarified that he is an advisor to the Department of Homeland Security. Oh, you're the chief of staff, are you? Chief of staff to what? To who?
I can't watch this anymore. This woman's stuck in the studio with soft lighting and a stack of cue cards. She's realizing that her ratings are tanking down the toilet and her side lost another election while Kristi Noem is over here actually handling things on the border like human trafficking, closing borders, showing where people go when they get arrested with MS-13. And this woman's over here in her Manhattan apartment thinking about things to talk about on her losing rating show. This is why their ratings suck. This is what oh my God, she's in a cowboy hat. Rob says, being from South Dakota, I know her family are actually ranchers. So of course she's going to wear a cowboy hat. And of course she rides horses. And calling Border Patrol uniform a costume is absolutely disgusting. Shout out to Rob for that because that's actual facts. It's not a costume. It's a uniform. And of course she's going to wear a bulletproof vest if she's going on these raids with these gang members. What's she going to do? Wear a tank top? Bro. Shout out to you, Rob, for that. Oh, it's just a matter of time. She's going to share the same fate as Joyless Reed. Yep. Stephanie writes, real women wear accessories appropriately, not copycat Rosie O'Donnell haircuts.
Got him!
Oh, man. Are you... Airdrie writes, Mad Cow is the type that makes fun of anyone who works blue collar as a first responder. Yep. So true. She is Homeland Security. Forget policies. Let's talk hats. Eye roll. Yep. Oh my gosh. She's wearing can you believe it, guys? Breaking news on MSDNC. Kristi Noem is wearing a cowboy hat. And it's tan. Can you believe it? This is what they have to talk about. And I just like making fun of it. So bring it on. Bring it on. We don't have any more Joyless Reed outtakes. Joyless Reed race bait pandering. Joyless Reed has been replaced with the one, the only Jasmine Ghetto Crockett, but we'll get into that here in a little bit. That video is, it's not a real toy. If it was, I'd probably put one back here somewhere, but, She or he, Mad Cow, is hot for Noem. It's gross. Christy Noem is a superb lady. I agree with that. I agree. Oh, man. Let me know what you guys think. If you're catching this on the replay, drop it down in the comment section. Let me know what you think about Rachel Mad Cow. I couldn't even think of her name. Blue collar comeback. I haven't seen this clip. This is a Hannity clip. Blue collar comeback. GOP lawmakers express hope for fulfilling Trump's agenda. I saw this. I meant to watch this. I haven't watched this yet, so I'm interested in checking this out.
Z, let me go to you because the Budget Committee, as chair, this reconciliation process, really, you're the one that triggered this, which I think is very important. Otherwise, you'd have to get the approval of the Senate parliamentarian.
Well, so it's our belief that elected officials should make big decisions, not unelected bureaucrats. I like the parliamentarian, but it's not her decision to set the baseline, it's mine. When Democrats were in charge, they set the baseline. Under the Budget Control Act of 1974, you can spend all the money you want, you don't have to pay for it. But when you cut taxes after a period of time, that considers to be raising the deficit. We all know if you cut taxes, you get more money into the government. We all believe that. So by 53 of us got together and we changed the way the Washington works. From here on out, taxes will be treated as spending. They will be considered not to expire. They don't add to the debt. They add revenue to the government. I made that decision and all these guys back me up. Huh?
The Trump tax cuts are scheduled to expire.
In December. What does it mean? $1,900 per family. If you're in business, you're going to lose your deductions, expensing. Child tax credit goes down by 90. We're playing with real bullets here. I just say this. The debt ceiling, the debt extension, as President Trump called it, we got to pay the credit card bill it comes due. If we don't put it in this bill, and we have to get 10 Democrats in the Senate to extend the debt ceiling, the price they will want will be unbelievable. They will extort everybody here. They will extort President Trump. To the people watching tonight, we got a chance to make the tax cuts permanent, fully fund the border, help the military, get the debt ceiling extended without one Democratic vote, only if reconciliation works. 4 times in 100 years. If we screw this up, you should be really pissed. We can't afford to screw this up.
Senator Cotton, your take, and where do you think we are in the process?
Well, I think we've taken an important first step last week in the Senate by passing that budget and sending it to the House. You heard the president just a few moments ago talking about the need for unity. We obviously have some differences of opinion here on this or that issue, along with 50 or 2 other of my colleagues as well. But on this, we're all unified around the need to not just extend the 2017 tax cuts, but to improve them with some of the ideas that the president campaigned on, that we all campaigned on.
No tax tips.
Exactly.
Overtime, Social Security.
Secure our border. It's not just a security issue. It's also a quality of life issue in your communities, because illegal migrants put strain on schools and hospitals and other public services.
Kennedy's loading up.
Making sure that we're safe abroad as well by funding our military and getting the price of energy down, whether it's what you pay for gas at the pump or your electricity. That's the goals that unite all of us. That's what we came together around last week with Lindsey and John Thune's leadership. And I think that's what Mike Johnson is going to have in the House later this week.
Senator Scott.
To me, this is the beginning of the blue collar comeback. Imagine $7 trillion.
That's a great line. I wish I'd thought of that.
We can share it. We can share it. I mean, think about it, though. So many Americans feel invisible in the Biden economy. This is the Trump economy. Think about $7 trillion descending upon the greatest nation on God's green earth, creating high-paying, high manufacturing jobs. That means $100,000+ a year coming into communities across this country. The first time we did it, the TCJA, we saw more revenue to the Treasury, and we saw $4,000 per family in their pockets. It's the American people's dollars. Let them keep it. This blue collar comeback, it's real, because President Trump is the man we need with a steel spine to get the job done. 70 countries? It's a good day in America.
Senator Cruz.
Look, failure is not an option.
You look at the election in November, it is as clear a mandate as we've ever seen from the American people. And I'll tell you, one of the things that I am impressed with in both the Senate and House is I think Republicans understand we have a job to do. We can't screw this up. Now, what is that job? Number one, the mandate, secure the border. That is the single clearest mandate out of this election. 12 million people invaded this country, and the American people said enough is enough. And I got to say, by the way, my favorite line from the President's State of the Union address is when he pointed out, he said, you know, Joe Biden stood up here a year ago and said he couldn't secure the border without new legislation. Well, it turns out we didn't need new legislation. We just needed a new president.
That was an awesome line when he said that. Secure the borders, tariff these other countries, these foreign countries. Let's jump back in.
We've seen illegal border crossings drop 98%. That's delivering on results, but now it's our job to come and provide the funding to build the wall, to put in technology, to put in Border Patrol, to put in ICE, to make sure that we keep our families safe and secure. When it comes to energy, the American people are fed up with high energy costs. We want America to lead the world in energy. When it comes to rebuilding the military, you're right, it is a dangerous, dangerous world. And when it comes to the tax cuts, we're going to extend the tax cuts. It's going to be bumpy. It's always bumpy, and it's particularly with the House, which has an excruciatingly small majority. But we will get the job done because the alternative, if we do nothing, is an automatic $4 trillion tax increase. We're not going to let that happen because if we do, we'll be failing in our jobs. That is not acceptable. We'll get the job done, and the president won't let that happen.
If the House doesn't get it done, they're going to be hurting themselves again because the sooner we get away from the Biden.
Let me see if I got this. I didn't watch this clip, so let me see. I know there was some stuff trending with Kennedy on Hannity. Let me see. Let me see if I could find it real quick. I think these good. I think this is good. They need to extend these tax cuts. Is this it? Oh, here we go.
Welcome back to Hannity. We're live from Capitol Hill, where we continue our town. And $37 trillion in debt, and then Doge finding what, nearly $150 trillion, I think, at this point, dollars in waste, fraud, and abuse. How will all of you with the majority get this under control?
Well, look, reconciliation is not quantum physics. It's about lower prices. To lower prices, Sean, you've got to do three things. You've got to reduce government spending so you have less stimulus. You've got to deregulate the economy so the price of goods and services go down. And you have to design your tax code that looks like somebody designed it on purpose to stimulate growth.
Yeah.
Now, reconciliation allows us in the Senate to do all three of those things with 51 votes. And that's really all it is. I want to say a word, though, about tariffs, because that's sort of the fourth leg of this stool. I think most fair-minded people would agree with this. Other countries have used trade barriers to take advantage of the American people and American businesses. Number two, President Trump has said enough. We would not be in this situation today had he not been a pit bull. By that, I mean there are 195 countries in the world. 70 are begging him to make a deal to lower tariffs. He's like the pit bull, though, who caught the car. Here's what I don't know what the president's going to do next. Here's what I hope he does next. I hope he takes a deal. I hope he goes to, he and Scott Bessent go to every one of those countries and reduce those tariffs and trade barriers down to zero and let American businesses compete with those foreign businesses. Competition makes us better.
Does everyone agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, 70 countries.
70 countries. They already agreed. 75, actually. I'm going to jump into the comment section here. Kennedy is absolutely hilarious. I love that guy. Yep, 100%. Hold the line, LJ writes. Hold the line, MAGA. Hold the line. Hold the line. Somebody wrote that Kennedy, LJ writes, Kennedy could have a second career as a comedian. The stuff he comes up with off the top of his head, it is hilarious. This guy, A, brings common sense and he brings humor to the whole situation. Stephanie, I love that man. I also feel he makes a mean biscuits and gravy. I don't know. Oh, that is a Kennedy really loves pancakes. The biscuits and gravy comment is a absolute perfect segue for our next topic, next and final topic of today. Jasmine Ghetto Crockett, biscuits and gravy, honey. Jasmine Ghetto Crockett. She went on a tour. She was at this Baptist church. Catherine was talking about it the other day, and I was like, I have to watch this video because I briefly saw it, but now I'm talking like Jasmine Crockett. She said, I had to go around the country and educate about what immigrants do for this country. You feel me? This is what I'm finna do. The fact y'all ain't going out there and farming right now, we done picking cotton. This is what Jasmine Crockett says. We done picking cotton. Honey.
Go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Right.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands. You're not. We done picking cotton. We are. You can't pay us enough to find a plantation.
I know that's right.
That weave about to fall off, girl.
So
we done picking cotton. Y'all know what I'm saying? What y'all finna do? Acting. This is pandering 101, guys. Catering to the black community. All of a sudden, she has this persona that she's been perfecting. This persona of Jasmine Ghetto Crockett. Donald Trump was talking about it last night. He said, Jasmine Ghetto Crockett, this woman is crazy. This is some racist stuff. We done picking cotton. What? She's a racist. We talked about this yesterday. There's machines that pick cotton. There's machines that pick cotton. There's people that pick your hair and weave it into a nice weave. There's people that put on your eyelashes. Jasmine Ghetto, the gift that keeps on giving. She's my personal favorite to replace any meltdown of the week right here. Instead of Joyless Reed, we get Jasmine Ghetto Crockett. Honey. What y'all finna do? We ain't over here talking about his mess. Stop. Is this what she thinks about the black community? Is this what she thinks about people? What? She never picked weeds in her life alone. She didn't exist when cotton was being picked by slaves. Yep. Crazy. Red card penalty. Let me know what you guys think about Jasmine Ghetto Crockett. Oh, she's going to have some more sound bites. It's going to be great. I can't believe she did this at the Grace Baptist Church 125th anniversary program. And you hear people in the background, yes. Just pandering to the black folks. Come on, man. She sounds like Fannie Willis. Exactly. Oh, man. There hasn't been slaves for 160 years. What's wrong with farming is what I want to know. Nothing is, nothing's wrong with farming. I think people should farm, it's just her saying, because predominantly Hispanics got deported. She's like, who's going to clean our house? Who's going to pick our berries? Who's going to pick our cotton? Come on, man. Anyways, let me know what you think about Jasmine Ghetto Crockett down in the comments section. If you're catching this on the replay, our country was founded on settlers, 100%. 100%. Hispanics, yes, Thelma. Hispanics. Thank you for the correction. What did I say? Latinos? I don't remember what I said. I was just cooking on Jasmine Crockett. Hispanics account for like 1% of farming. Yeah. This woman's crazy. Anyways, guys. All right. I'm going to jump on out of here. But before I do, I want to give a huge shout out to the moderators in the chat. Shout out to the mods in the chat. One of the best moderators in the business. Hands down. Hands down. Period. End of story. I also want to give a huge shout out to everybody catching us on the live. You guys absolutely rock. You make the lives absolutely epic, absolutely amazing. And also, if you're not part of Discord group, the Discord group link will be in the description down below. You can chat with these like-minded individuals that you're chatting with currently in the chat. The Discord link is in the description below. And if you're not familiar with Discord, there's an SOS section on Discord. So there's some quick tutorials on show you how to use it. It's kind of like WhatsApp and Slack and things like that. So tap into the Discord link down below. Cool. All right, guys, I am going to jump on out of here. You get great stories, Tyson. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ricardo. Joe, thanks, Tyson. Great as always. Thank you. Stephanie writes, her biscuits and gravy probably suck. She probably doesn't even know how to cook biscuits and gravy. If she takes any cooking lessons from Kamala Harris, she probably cooks it in the tub. She needs to pick a new job. They're going to take the girl out the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out the girl. Ouch. Ooh. All right, guys, I'm going to jump on out of here. I'm going to play with the pup for a little bit, but be sure to smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow, 6 p.m. PST. No, I did not turn on my AC yet. I think I might. If it turns 90, I think I might. I got the fans on, though. All right, guys, I am going to jump on out of here. Smash the like button, share, subscribe. And as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you guys so much.